Tyler Perry has been hit with a huge sexual assault lawsuit from an actor by the name of Derek Dixon.
Now, actor and filmmaker Tyler Perry sued for $260 million over sexual harassment allegations. The complaint filed in Los Angeles accuses Perry of creating a, quote, coercive, sexually exploitative dynamic with actor Derek Dixon. Dixon was in two of Tyler Perry's shows, The Oval and Ruthless.
Tyler Perry's world just turned upside down. Last week, actor Derek Dixon filed a $260 million lawsuit that reads like the script for a thriller. Only there are no villains in costumes, just a studio mogul with the power to make or break careers.
The lawsuit starts with how Derek first met Tyler Perry, which was in 2019 at an event at Tyler Perry Studios. At the time, Derek was working for an event company that Tyler used for his events, and on the day of this event, Derek says Tyler, quote, picked him out of a crowd of employees and began asking him about his employment status and if he wanted to be an actor.
Wow, man.
Dixon says it all began in 2019, when he was a no-name worker helping at the grand opening of Tyler Perry Studios in Atlanta. According to court papers, Perry spotted him, asked for his number, and promised to change his life. Within weeks, that promise took shape in a small role on the show Ruthless, an invite to Perry's mansion, and, Dixon claims, an after-party where too many drinks blurred the evening. He says Perry followed him to a guest room, touched his thighs, and ignored the word no. Dixon stayed quiet, not because he was okay, but because silence is the unspoken price of a shot in Hollywood.
Now, in 2020, TP allegedly invited Dixon to his house in Atlanta. Now, Dixon claims he got drunk and slept in TP's guest room, where at some point, TP got into the bed and rubbed on his thigh, but he rejected the alleged advance, but TP still gave him a role in the Oval.
Dixon's timeline only gets darker. By January 2020, he alleges that another incident happened in Perry's house, and the same pattern kicked in. Unwanted touching, then a shiny carrot on a stick, a bigger part on the Oval. The role paid well, gave him screen time, and even let him dream about bigger things. But the safety came with strings.
Now, Derek also alleges that Tyler continued to text him, revealing he allegedly liked sex with men and asked about his sexual preferences. He claims he feared that his career would suffer if he complained. Now, Derek says that TP invited him over again in late 2020, and TP once again became sexual and allegedly asked if he likes it rough in bed, and by then grabbed him by the throat. He claims TP said, "Look how excited you just got."
Dixon says late-night texts from Perry drifted from friendly to flirtatious, then crossed the line into explicit. What's it going to take for you to have guiltless fun? He tried to play it cool, answer politely, survive the weirdness, because this was Tyler Perry, the boss, the man whose studio lot is larger than Disney's and who can erase a character with one keystroke. In season 1's finale, that is exactly what happened. Dixon's character Dale was shot 4 times in the chest. Either play along or play dead. That was the chilling lesson he took away.
These events occurred while Mr. Dixon was employed as a series regular on the Tyler Perry show, The Oval, and while Mr. Perry held direct control over his employment, compensation, and creative opportunity.
Perry's lawyers now say the whole story is a shakedown, but the lawsuit speaks in receipts, dates, texts, call logs, doctor notes diagnosing PTSD, and a pattern of quid pro quo pressure that stretches to the Bahamas set in 2020, and even a cast trailer in 2023. Each time Dixon tried to pull back, he says Perry pulled him in harder, dangling a bigger prize. The biggest was a pilot called Losing It, Dixon's own dream project. Perry, according to Dixon, promised to produce the show, then ghosted him, kept the rights, and left him scrambling in California with no job, no pilot, and almost $500,000 in lost earnings. By mid-2024, he had enough. A formal EEOC complaint went nowhere, so he sued, asking the court to weigh whether fame, philanthropy, and billion-dollar studios should shield anyone from consequences.
I did a movie called Precious.
I loved it.
When we did the contract, he said you have 5% of the film. The film goes to Sundance, and it begins to get all of this praise. Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey get involved with Precious. They become executive producers. When it came time to go to different festivals and promote this movie, I've already done the movie. I don't need to campaign for you now to say, I want this trophy. I've done the movie. I've done my part.
That brings us to comedian Monique, who has been warning about Perry for more than a decade. When she refused to fly overseas for unpaid press on Precious in 2009,
Only for Tyler Perry to admit he did start a rumor that I was difficult to work with. He lied. Only for Tyler Perry to admit I was wrong, and when my movie Boo come out,
she says Perry, Lee Daniels, and Oprah Winfrey slapped her with the label difficult, and her 7-figure offers disappeared. Monique recorded a 2016 phone call in which Perry admitted he was wrong and vowed to apologize publicly when his Halloween comedy Boo came out. The apology never came. Instead, Perry moved on, and Monique watched doors slam. Her annual income, she says, fell from $2-3 million to almost nothing. When Perry eulogized singer Angie Stone and spoke of artists who never get what they deserve, Monique saw red. How, she asked, could the man who helped blacklist her preach about fairness? She posted the old audio, posted an open letter, and said, "Told y'all." Industry giants, Oprah, Lee Daniels, Reverend Al Sharpton, even Kevin Hart, have stayed publicly silent or backed away after brief shows of support. Monique says that silence is the real currency in Hollywood. Protect the gatekeepers and the checks keep coming. Speak up and watch your name vanish from email chains overnight. Her proof is personal. Oprah aired Monique's estranged family on national TV to discuss her childhood trauma, without permission, Monique says, then brushed it off in private. Kevin Hart once promised to back her next series, cut a check to help her family, but after one phone call from a partner, the project evaporated. 2 years later, Hart has not called back. Monique sees Dixon's lawsuit as a mirror image of her own fight, the same promises, isolation, and retaliation, only this time with a male actor and sexual overtones. She argues that Perry's case tears down the illusion that abuse in entertainment is only a white executive problem. Representation means little, she says, if Black creatives who preach empowerment use the same playbook of fear and silence. Dixon's suit names 10 causes of action: harassment, retaliation, hostile work environment. And if he wins even one, Perry's studio could face massive payouts, halted productions, and an erased public image built on Black excellence and philanthropy. For 10 long minutes and more, the lawsuit forces us to question how power is protected. Tyler Perry built an empire on uplifting marginalized voices, funding HBCUs, and hiring local talent. Yet, if the allegations hold, that same empire may have exploited a newcomer's dreams and crushed a legend's livelihood. Monique isn't asking for pity. She wants restitution and a public correction of a lie that cost her tens of millions and years of work. Dixon isn't chasing headlines. He wants a jury to decide whether a promise of mentorship turned into psychological warfare. Together, their stories warn every artist climbing studio steps. Opportunity can be bait, and silence can be lethal. So where does Hollywood go from here? If Perry settles quietly, nothing changes, and the next target learns to keep quiet. If the case goes to trial and details spill into open court, the industry may have to face a truth Monique has shouted for years. Talent isn't protection, loyalty isn't free, and gatekeepers, no matter their color, must answer for the people they harm. Until then, Monique is still recording, Dixon is still suing, and the rest of us are left to decide whether we'll keep applauding success stories or finally ask what they cost the people who helped write them.